Hey guys, it's Missy Wolf and I'm here with Nathan Sharp. How are you?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing really well, but I'm super excited. And I have to say that your music video, I was cracking
Mm.
up laughing because
Yeah.
you guys had so much fun. And it's Heroes Never Die. And your take on the video, because I didn't know what to expect, I was just dying. I loved it. I wished I could have been there. It's like my favorite game in the world to play, but I suck really bad at it.
Oh
So,
yeah.
so for those of you who are watching who don't know what I'm talking about, you guys were playing laser tag in your video, right?
That's
Okay.
right.
So whose concept was that? And the fact that you did like the animation with it and you made it look like machine guns and stuff, whose idea was that?
Originally, it was my idea to do laser tag
Hmm.
because the song is somewhat based off of a game called Overwatch. It's got some influence from that, which is a kind of a shoot 'em up game,
Right.
and a combination of that and my first job actually being at a laser tag place, it kind of felt like
Oh.
really appropriate to make the theme laser tag. So I brought that idea to my director, Mike, and he loved the idea and he got everything together. He scouted out a good laser tag place I was willing to host, and it all came together really well.
It was awesome. I was just the whole time. I mean, I couldn't stop smiling during that entire video. But your vocals, man, you're killer. When did you
Thank-
discover you had that power? Because my God, like that's a whole new level of rock and roll for me. And it was just, I loved it. I love your music. I'm gonna be addicted now. I already told you my two daughters, they were digging it as well. And I'm just like, independent artists and new music people are craving it. We are craving it because everything you hear on the radio is the same. It's just the
Mm.
same. And the fact that we have been introduced to you by Jenny, thank you, Jenny. I'm just so excited, and I feel like I have upped my playlist, and I can't get enough of it. So
Right on. Thank you so much.
absolutely. When did you discover you had this amazing talent?
So I started singing when I was like really, really young, like wee child, just like in the back seat of my dad's car, like trying to sing along to whatever was on the radio. And then I just kind of kept doing it. It was a lot of fun, and I kept sticking with it. And then at a certain point, I was just like, hey, maybe I can like take this a little bit more seriously. So I
Right.
started, trying to learn a little more proper technique. I joined a couple like garage bands here and
Hmm.
there, and that's kind of what sprung being a singer for
Right.
sure.
Okay, I know, and you've done a lot of stuff with your voice. I know you've done like voice acting as well.
Hmm.
And I mean, everything that I was reading, I didn't really know what it all was. I know you're a gamer too, right?
Yeah, yeah, a bit. Yeah.
Okay, well, as soon as I got to Pokemon, I knew, and my son, who's 5 years old, and he's autistic, but he's been playing this Pokemon Roblox thing like every
All
single
right.
day. So when he heard me read Pokemon, he started shrieking like, "Pokemon, Pokemon! Oh my God, I know him!" And I'm like, "No, baby,
Oh, that's so
you
cool.
don't really know him, but I can show you what he's doing." And so you've created a lot of excitement for a lot of people in my particular household today, and we have to let you know you're brilliant. You're so
Oh, no.
brilliant.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't even know when it all started for you and when you decided to go the route that you did, but I'm so glad that you're doing your own music as well because
Hmm.
I've seen your covers. I've seen your Nate Wants to Battle YouTube channel, and you're so good. So whenever I see somebody that's that good, I do want to hear what they can do on their own, the original material. When did you decide to do that?
So it was one of those things where it wasn't instantly like overnight I started doing original material. It gradually evolved, starting from it kind of evolved from like, gaming and Pokemon related like parodies and stuff to where I was rewriting a couple top 40 songs about whatever game. And then it, transitioned into like video game covers, like a lot of stuff from different IPs. And then the songwriting came into play when I started making original music, but lyrically it was based off of games. So
Right.
there was a few games that were really popular that I made a couple albums about, and that showed that people were enjoying the actual
Mhm.
songwriting that I created, and I didn't need to rely on somebody else's song, which was really nice. and that kind of led me to believe like, hey, maybe I can, do these original songs that aren't even related to gaming, and that's kind of the almost unorthodox like evolution it took towards the last album.
Well, I'm so glad you took that leap and that you decided to make that choice and pursue that, because really you have an outstanding voice, and I think lyrically you're spot on. You have some great songwriting skills, and let me just tell you, I have come across a lot of music, a lot of independent artists, a lot of people send us submissions all the time. They want us to do interviews or showcase their music, and we're so focused at the magazine at promoting independent artists, but we also want to promote people who are talented, and we don't want to post anything negative. So if we get an album and we review it and it's not our cup of tea, we won't post a negative thing about anybody. So we'll go back to those people and say, you know what, it's not fitting what we're looking for right now, but maybe if you work on this and this and this, that, you know what I mean, then come back. And for me, that hurts to tell people, because I can't stand being that person. But when Jenny approached me with you and I checked it out, I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's phenomenal. And just reading everything about you, everything that you've done, it's just so brilliant. And your YouTube channel, I mean, you've got a lot of views on your videos, and what has that been like for you to see people are watching you?
It's weird because, like, for a lot of people, especially nowadays with a lot of even bigger like content creators online, their goals are like, yeah, I want to make videos and I want to get millions of views, blah blah. And there's a lot of focus on numbers, but that's something that it never really appealed to me too much, because it's kind of hard to get emotionally invested into like a username, or like just like, oh, there's a number on this video. The biggest benefit of that is we've been able to take that and bring it out like into the real world. Like when we started touring recently with it, playing live shows, and that's when it really hits you like, okay, there's a lot of people who are genuinely into what I'm doing. So that's kind of when it really hit me that there was outreach with this, which was amazing.
Absolutely. And I mean, I'm so much smaller scale than you are on the YouTube channel stuff. I mean, and I don't pay attention to all of that either, but when somebody will bring it up, like, do you know that this article or this thing reached this many thousands of people, and this many people are commenting, and it's like, wait, what? That people are watching me? Like, it's still hard for me to and it's just one of those things that I don't think it has fully hit me yet either, what I'm actually doing, and that people are seeing my work. And I've had people recognize me, which is the weirdest thing for me. So,
oh, that's fantastic.
Are you, I mean, was that something you were good with? When you had that experience where people are recognizing you and knowing who you are, was that weird for you too? Because for me, I'm like, wait, you've seen me, you know me? That's weird. It's just, I can't, it still hasn't sunk in for me.
I think at a certain point, like at first it was definitely very strange, especially when it was like more so when you're recognized at somewhere you didn't like announce you'd be, or like it's not a convention or it's not a tour, it's like when you're just out and about. When that happens, that still is a little crazy to me. But it is very cool, and it's also it comes with the job. But it's really neat to see these people out, in public, and like I said, in person over like online, because I meet them and they tell me their story. They tell me like the effect that what I do has had on their lives, and it's really cool. It's really awesome to like hear face to face like what your work like does for somebody else's life. It's
true, and I talk about this a lot with different people that I'm interviewing, and it's especially when somebody takes that moment to connect with a fan on social media, whether it's just a simple retweet of something that they've posted, or it goes a long way. And you've got a ton of fans, and that's just so special when you can make those connections. And I mean, have you ever heard a story from a fan where they've told you what it is you've done for them and how you've pulled them from a bad day and made it better?
Yeah. especially when I'm doing some kind of meet and greet thing and I get like more than like 10 seconds to like talk to them.
Right.
They share, like I said, they share their stories, and it's really like heartwarming to hear. Like I know I had this other interview I was doing a couple weeks ago, and we had a segment where we were taking some fan calls, and you know, one guy was just like, "Hey, I want you to know that your one particular song, one particular album, it had helped him like with beating his addiction issues he was dealing with, which was like very powerful, and it was very, very brave of them to like share that on a live radio show. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so it's very moving. It's very motivating for sure.
Oh, and I'm so glad to hear that, and kudos to him for, like you said, for putting himself out there like that, and being able to talk to you. And I'm sure that in and of itself was that full circle therapeutic moment, right? That moment where you were the catalyst for him getting to where he needed to be to beat his addiction. And then the fact that he got to then thank you for that, I mean, that must have been the most amazing feeling for him as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, without doubt.
I mean, I know when I met my hero, it took everything I had in me to say what I needed to say without breaking down into tears, because and my hero, just because everybody knows, and I'm just going to say it anyway, is Jon Bon Jovi. And when I finally got to meet him, I was shaking like a leaf. I didn't think I'd have a chance to, you know, be handed a microphone to ask him a question. And instead of asking him a question, I just took that moment to say thank you, said what he had done for me, and then passed the microphone on. And seeing the emotion in his eyes, I will never forget the look on his face and the emotion in his eyes when I told him my story. And so what you did for that fan, that's huge. So thank you for that, because we need more of that, man. And music is therapy, and I, you know, I mean, it's therapy for all of us, for you and for your fan. so what do you have coming up with your new release? I mean, it's only been out for a little while, right?
Yeah, the new album's been out for a couple months now. It was released in March.
Right.
And with that, there's a couple more music videos for that. So we have some other ideas we're working on that's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
And then there's always a frequent amount of music going up on the channel, you know, just because like I am still kind of part of the YouTube game, and part of that is keeping frequent. So trying to do like 2 to 3 covers. Oh, did I lose it? Okay, there we go. Sorry.
It happens, guys. Everybody knows it's Skype, and Skype gets temperamental sometimes, but they always bring it back.
Yeah. But yeah, so like 2 or 3 songs go up on the channel on a monthly basis, you know, just try to stay on the grind. And then currently working already on the next album that I'm gonna try to release next year. So it's it's always making music, always on the grind. Like it's like you said, it's therapy, and it's on both ends, because creating music is therapeutic to me. I love doing it, and I love doing it day and night.
That's awesome. Now, is there like a specific process you have for going into some songwriting? Because everybody seems to have different things that they do, different rituals, or, you know, how they prepare themselves to go to write. And some people just don't prepare themselves at all. They're like, well, when it comes, and I'm just ready for it. You know, so is there something you do?
I'd say it's mainly the last bit you said. Okay. It's not often I like, you know, go out of my way. I like schedule songwriting. Like typically it'll start with it'll be like the middle of the night, and maybe I'll have like a melody idea or some kind of hook or a chord progression. So if I'm near my computer or an instrument, like I'll try and jot down a basic idea before I lose it, and then work on it when I have more time the following day, or like even taking out, open up voice memos on my phone, and then just kind of like hum a little melody and stuff like that, just to have it.
Right.
Like there's probably right now on my phone for the next album, there's at least like 15 little ideas that are just kind of hanging out that need to be turned into real songs. So
and you just robbed me of my next question, which is so amazing, because that's what I was going to ask you, was if we opened your phone right now, what would we see? How many notes would we see? Because I hear it all the time that people are doing notes on their phone now, and I never thought about that. And it's like, I'm always thinking y'all are, you know, carrying like what I do, and this is so funny. You know, I get the little 3-pack of these, at the Dollar General. But I mean,
Yeah.
I'm constantly writing notes in all of my little books. But everybody's using their phones these days. And I'm like, well, I really should probably do that myself. I think that's pretty great.
I think that depends on the individual because I have a lot of friends who they still very much love the charm and the feeling of like a physical pen to paper. For me, I like doing it on my phone, especially with it, being backed up into a cloud system. So,
Yeah.
I can have like an idea on my phone so that when I get to my studio, it's already like on my computer and then I can work with it from there. So I like the ecosystem that it
Well,
builds.
that's actually, honestly, it's probably a safer way because you don't know how many times I've gone off to wherever I'm supposed to be and I forget my little book. You know what I mean? But what do I always have? My phone.
It's
So-
true.
So,
It's true.
So it's probably a little bit safer to do it on your phone, and the fact that it does back up, it's pretty great. But so, have your family and friends been really supportive of you throughout all of this?
Oh, absolutely. Honestly, I attribute a lot of where I am today to my parents. Like a lot of people have the story where it's like, oh yeah, I was like trying to make it in music, and my parents didn't really believe in me,
Yeah.
so I had to like do it myself. But my parents they're very supportive. They helped me get my start as far as like turning my bedroom in their house into a studio and stuff like that,
cool.
which was a huge help.
Right.
Like growing up, I had my little odd jobs, and I worked at this retail or that restaurant, and like with my work ethic and like how I work for myself versus like someone else, like my dad always told me, he's like, yeah, I realize that whatever you end up doing, you're not going to be working for somebody, you're going to like be doing your own thing. So he decided to like put all the effort like toward that, the thing he saw that I was actually good at. So for that, I thank him a lot.
That's incredible, and that's not a story that you hear very often. And when people can see those qualities about you, those characteristics, and can help you excel and build on that, I think that's amazing. And I know for myself, I'm the girl who, my mom and dad used to joke with me all the time, the jack of all trades, master of none, and it is really hard. I have a very, very good work ethic and I love my job, but as soon as you get that one boss, that one employer who tries to tell you what to do, or they're rude to you, or I'm done, I'm out. Life is too short to be treated like that by anybody. I don't care. If I make a mistake, I will own it. But there is no reason to belittle anybody. And I can't even tell you how many times, and I'm sure you've seen it. You go out to eat or you're at a store and you see a supervisor reprimanding an employee in front of everybody. And it's like, it is really wrong to belittle somebody like that, especially in front of anyone else. So,
Yeah, it's right.
yeah, I learned a long time ago that, I need to be my own boss too, which is why I'm doing this with the magazine. And, creative control, isn't that everything to you? Like,
Oh, it's more than everything. It's great. It's also like one of my favorite parts of being and I know this is a very rare circumstance with being able to be a full-time musician without a label or anyone. So
Yeah.
I'm still able to pay the bills, but have full creative control. So if there's something where I want to experiment with sound or mess around with stuff that maybe isn't gonna be the most marketable thing, but it's something that'll creatively like fulfill me, I get to make those calls, which is great.
Absolutely. And I think having that control over your career, especially as a musician, because we all know back in the day when people were assigned to all these big labels, you had to ask permission to cut your hair. You know what I mean? Like, you had to ask permission to wear certain things. They wanted you to wear, I have a friend who had a management company recently, and they were like, you need to change your look. You need to start wearing this. And that's not letting you be yourself. And granted, these people are smart, and some people respond really well to that because they just don't know how to be. But for those that know what they want, know who they are, know where they want to be, when somebody else robs you of that control, that is crushing.
Absolutely, without a doubt. Yeah, I was in a band in college, and things started to get a little bit serious. We started talking to this management company, and they were very like, okay, so you gotta act like this for like your social media posts, do this. If any of you have relationships, never post about them and stuff like that. Like, keep everything hidden. and it's very constricting, and it doesn't feel real, which I think is something that's very important in any kind of creative field, is making sure that you're staying true to yourself.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I actually went through something kind of similar, and it was somebody that I had known, and I was, starting to run fan pages for artists that I knew. And
Hmm.
so we would be friends on social media, and this person kept telling me like I was going through life. I have kids. I'm a mom, and I think it was my son. We were trying to save his vision, and it was back when insurance was one of those really difficult things, and I had just made a big move. And
Hmm.
my son woke up one day, and it was just bad. His one eye was crossed all the way to the one side. They were testing
Hmm.
him to see if he had tumors or something. You know what I mean? Like it was a scary ordeal. Well,
Yeah.
because we had just moved and we didn't have jobs with insurance yet, I was terrified. Like, I need to make sure that we don't lose my son's vision. So I did a GoFundMe page to raise money for his glasses and his hospital visit. And I was told by this person that I needed to take that off my social media page because, oh, there's artists that can see that. I'm like, yeah, but these people are my friends and
Yeah.
I'm real. I'm never going to be fake. So if
Yeah,
somebody
exactly.
friends my personal page and I accept it, they're going to see who I am.
Hmm.
I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm just going to be me and be real. And I think that that's so important. Now, obviously, I keep it
Oh, of course.
respectful. I'm not this crazy Looney Tunes person that's posting all kinds of, offensive stuff. But my child needing help, I was like, really? That
Oh
is
yeah.
that's just crazy to me. People need help in life. And there's no
Yeah, they
reason why
do.
we should be ashamed of that either. So good for you for standing up for yourself and for making sure that you remain in control of your career and not having to conform to what somebody else's view of you should it is or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's important.
Absolutely.
So, and kudos to your parents, man. Good job, mom and dad. Like, that's
Hmm.
great. That's so great. Now, do you have brothers and sisters or anything?
No, I was an only child,
Okay.
so yeah,
All
so
right.
I got to hog a lot of focus. So.
Well, no, but hey, you know what? I mean, why not? And no
Mhm.
disrespect, there's plenty of artists out there who have, brothers and sisters, and their parents did the same thing. And, that's what you do as a parent. You try to help your child with the area that they want to be in. I let my daughter be in a music video last week, and I was terrified. I
Oh,
didn't,
cool.
I didn't know what to expect. And
Yeah.
I've never not been there with her. So to drop her off on set and take care of
Mm.
the other kids and have it was hard for me, but as a parent you got to let your kid do what they want to do, and that's what she wanted to do. So
Mm.
good job for them. Now what else do you have coming up? Because I mean you're just amazing. You've got so many things that you're already doing. What else can we expect from you?
Thank you. So right now we're still waiting on a couple more dates to be confirmed, but
Mm-hmm.
myself and some fellow musician friends, Andy Stein and Amalie, are continuing our Cool and Good tour
Okay.
for 2017. We're hoping to hit East Coast, Pacific Northwest, and a couple other places. So hopefully we will have those dates up soon. So for
Okay.
anyone that wants to check that out and keep up to date,
Yeah.
NateWantsToBattle.com has everything. And
Perfect.
but we've got a good handful of shows left in the year, and we're really excited.
Now would any of those be maybe taking you towards Nashville at all?
I can't say just
Oh.
yet specifically where we're going,
All right.
but I would like to.
Well, if you find yourself here in Nashville, because that's where we're based out of, I would
Mhm.
love to get you on camera, do a track by track with you, or,
Yeah,
just
of
talk to you
course.
about, more stuff that you got going on. We have a lot up our sleeves right now, too. There's a lot of things that are happening for our magazine. And
Cool.
because we love to promote, independent artists, I mean, just keep us up to date with everything that you have going on. Anything you need us to promote, let us do that for you. Because I don't care if it's a press release, whatever. If you have a Facebook post of a new song or a new video and you want us to promote it, let us know so that we can.
Well, thank you.
We try to follow everybody anyways, and when we see stuff,
Mhm.
just post it on our own. But when you have a feed with a ton of people, sometimes things slip through. So let us know.
Yeah.
Send me an email, anything on social media, and we will make sure that we give you the attention that you need. And I'll make sure Jenny knows that too, because I love her and she always sends me her great artists. And you guys are you're in good hands with her.
Oh, yeah.
I absolutely
Absolutely.
adore her. Have you met Jonathan Wolf yet?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
He's the one who introduced us. So yeah.
Well, you need to tell him that his Wolfpack partner said hello, because when we did our interview with Jonathan, we made it official. We're a part of the Wolfpack now. So,
Oh, right on, right on.
um,
That's
but
awesome.
but you remind me of him, which is why, I mean, you're so easy to talk to, and you guys have some similar views, which is just it's great to see. It's very positive
Yeah.
and very uplifting, and I enjoy talking to you.
Oh yeah, right on. Thank you. Yeah, me and him go way back, like, cause we were both in the Florida scene. Like,
Okay.
God, probably for a good like at least 8 years I've known that guy. So like we've got a good history. So and we're at the point where we're both trying to do as much as we can for each other, because like friends and fellow independent artists need to like have each
Absolutely.
other's backs.
Exactly. And,
Hmm.
in the music genres, not everyone is the same.
Hmm.
In country music, I see that all the time where everybody's uplifting each other, but in every other genre, I don't see it as much. So it's so good to hear you guys, having each other's backs. It's so important, because the best way to help yourself is to help others. And when you're
Absolutely.
lifting each other up, it's just good things are going to happen for both of you.
Hmm.
I'm so excited, man. You guys are both so damn talented. I can't even stand it. Like, it's just phenomenal. But I'm so glad that my
Thank you.
playlist is that much better now. And so whenever you find yourself out here, man, we got to get you on camera, and just, God, don't stop doing what you're doing. You're brilliant. You really
Count on
are.
it. Thank
Just
you so much.
your ideas. If I could get inside your brain for a day, I think I would be fascinated. Just, you really
Right
are,
on.
and I don't say that about everybody, but there's you and one other person who I've seen do some stuff on YouTube, and his ideas and his creativity, they've just blown my mind. And you're right there. You guys are so brilliant, and I'm jealous that I'm not that creative, but I love
Mm,
it. So thank you for sharing your talent with the world. We appreciate it, and everybody at
absolutely.
home, follow him on social media. Check out his website, and stay
Mm.
tuned for new tour dates being added. Right.
Yep,
So,
that's correct.
all right. Well, until next time, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Thank you.